when these Indians were doing these scams and calling the police and act like they were fake robberies, who were they blaming these crimes on? Think about that. Because I know 99.9% of the time they were saying it was a black male who did it. Okay? So this is why it is imperative, it is very important that we understand why we're doing this whole delineation thing. We need to figure out who is committing what crimes in the community. Because you see these Indians just got busted with these scams, but these are the same people who will sit back and act like, oh, well, we have this perfect culture full of academics, but meanwhile, you're busting all of the, not only are you committing visa fraud, you're committing crimes, and you're most likely blaming those crimes on black Americans, okay? Because when people think black people, they think black Americans. They don't think Jamaican, they don't think Haitian, they don't think Afro, and all these Afro-Indigenous groups, they think black American. So this is what our delineation is important, because you see what these Indians are doing right here? Calling in these fake crimes to get visas, right? Understand, who you think they was blaming that on?
And this, family, is why delineation is a must. Right? And why FBA, we're claiming ourselves, we're separating ourselves from these people. So now, you know, when I was growing up here in the States, the relationship with the Indians, they pretty much stayed over there, away from us. They had their gas stations. They don't associate with us. In my opinion, they was damn near more racist than the W folks, right? They look at you with disdain as if they were better than you, knowing that they come from places where there's even not even no running water. They're not even able to wash their bodies, right? They come over here smelling like backdoor Betty, right? And like it's crazy, right? But a lot of them, they just look at you as if you're beneath them. Well, they were staging these robberies, and it's alleged that they was blaming them on black people. And they were staging these robberies where they can get these U visas, where they can stay in the country for another 4 years, and their families can come and stay and everything else. Now, I didn't believe it until we start seeing this being reported.
This is one of 6 stores behind me where authorities say the suspects staged those fake robberies. All of it an elaborate conspiracy plot to allegedly fast-track their immigration status. Federal agents made the arrest, rounding up 11 people who are Indian nationals who are now charged in connection with a plot to stage fake armed robberies at area convenience and liquor stores. Federal authorities say some of the defendants posed as store clerks who could then claim on their immigration applications that they were victims of violent crimes, a designation that would make them eligible for what's known as a U visa.
If a non-citizen is the victim of a serious crime in the United States, and that victim helps the police, helps the prosecutors or investigators, then that victim may qualify for temporary legal status, a so-called U visa.
Retired state district court judge James Barretto says there are definite perks to qualifying.
Now that visa, Mary, as you know, is good, I think, if I recall correctly, up to 4 years, and also may extend beyond that immediate alleged victim to that individual's spouse or children. It's a big deal.
According to the U.S. Department of Justice, the alleged staged robberies happened at 6 area stores in Hingham, Weymouth, Randolph, Marshfield, and Worcester. Court documents say the alleged robberies were all caught on store surveillance cameras, and the so-called victims plan to use that video as proof as they applied for a U visa.
Now, they're staging these robberies, and this is up in the Boston area, right? And they're doing it all throughout the state of Massachusetts. Now, a lot of their stores are right here in the hood. They have like convenience stores, they have gas stations. And when they're staging these robberies, you have to have, like, you know, they have video surveillance, and you have to have some stuff. So who are they saying that they blaming this stuff on? Now, it could allegedly be black folks, because the majority of these stores are in black communities, right? And if they can, if they can say, well, they got robbed or they was a victim of a crime here in the city, then they can get a UV visa, right? So this is the new trend now. So I'm telling you, brothers, be careful, because these people, man, they come in now. My thing is, there hasn't really been shown a lot of proof to blame us thus far. But then when you see people talking like this, it get real crazy.
Told these are tech geniuses, but they're being brought in to literally be janitors, to be school teachers, people coming in on H-1B visas, 70% from India, the majority one little region. They don't even have high school diplomas. They're literally coming out of villages that have no running water. And then look, the Indians are organized. They're giving political money. They're running for office. And then they only hire their people. This is a takeover.
And this is the stuff that your Democrats are supporting. These are the bills that they're fighting to get these people to stay here. do like the stream stuff and all these different acts that they're fighting to make sure that these immigrants will have a home in America over you. Now, when these immigrants come in and get their numbers up, they start lobbying for their own people. There is no black and brown coalition, and they know this. They're going to fight for their group. They're not going to hire nobody else. They're going to do everything that they can do for their group separate. But they get mad at us when we say we want to delineate. They come here already separated. They come here already ready to do for them. They don't give a damn about our plight. They're coming from their country. They coming here to make money, right? They talking like this.
The majority of Americans across the country, regardless of political party, know that immigrants from all over the world, Somalia, India, wherever they're from, Latin America, Africa, that immigrants have built this country and make this country what it is today.
So if you listen to her, she's saying Somalis, right, those Africans, Indians, and these other groups, she's saying that immigrants built this country. Now, those are talking points that foundational black Americans use. Those are our talking points. But they're trying to now hustle up off of our talking points, right, to get the things they need. But you know what the difference is? Our reparations bills have been on the floor since the 1800s. Going all the way back to Thaddeus Stevenson, all the way back to Field Order, Special Order 15, all the way up through the 30s, all the way up through John Conyers in the 80s. And we have so many bills that won't even make it through Congress, right? Democratic presidents come in and won't sign no executive orders, but they sign these executive orders. Biden, as soon as he get in office for these immigrants, to the point where she's emboldened to talk like this.
We also need offensive actions around prosecutions. We need real accountability, because at the end of the day, the people that have been inflicting this harm need to be prosecuted. They need to be brought before us, and they need to be held account for the trauma that they have created, and we are going to have some form of reparation.
So she's blatantly using our talking points right in front of your face. So when I do these videos on Al Sharpton and Roly Poly and all these Democrats that try to shame us, right, it just goes to show you just how I keep telling you, a lot of people amongst our group are traitors, man. You got the black church and everybody supporting this. They know that this is wrong, but they supporting it. Y'all don't believe me when I'm about to show you just how wrong this is and how disrespectful. Listen, forget the W, man. Forget the Democratic Party. I'm telling you, other black people, other foundational black Americans are to us, how disrespectful that they are and how much of a sellout that they are to us. And what this Indian man is about to come up here and say that he was able to do based off the system, and the Democrats know this, and they're fighting for it to happen even more and allow it right in front of your face. And when we bring this to the attention, it's our own family members. It's your mama, your daddy, your sister, your cousins, your girlfriend. It's your own people that's fighting you, calling you simple Simon Negroes, telling you to shut up. She want to break up with you, won't let you into their house, everything because you're no longer want to be on a Democratic plantation. But this Indian man right here is saying this.
So exactly like you mentioned, I reviewed the statistical data published by the American Association of Medical Colleges. I figured out that I was much more likely to get into admission as an African American than as an Asian American. So I came up with that scam that you described earlier. I managed to get into Washington University, get waitlisted at Washington University and the University of Pennsylvania, which are the third and fourth best medical schools in the country at the time. And I managed to get into St. Louis University School of Medicine, despite the fact that my 3.1 GPA was dramatically lower than their average of 3.7. So my plan paid off much more than I expected.
See, this man right here, this happened years back, and this is a very dark Indian. He looks like a Dravidian. A very dark Indian, and he's telling you the scams that these people do when they come here, because it's not just him. Africans do it, Indians do it, Latinos do it, and we've been calling this stuff out. Roland Martin knows this. He knows this. But they still fight tooth and nail for these groups, man. And they paint the picture that Donald Trump is the worst, most racist president that we ever had in the history of America, as if he's worse than Woodrow Wilson or LBJ or any of these other presidents. Black folks, we're resilient. We've been through everything. Donald Trump is a drop in the bucket compared to what our people been through. We got videos of our people being hosed down and dog sicked on them, right? And presidents doing nothing about it. We got stories of President Hayes taking the troops out of the South during Reconstruction and allow our people to be slaughtered all through the South. And you talking about Trump? Are you serious? Like, come on, man. I really can break all this stuff down historically when dealing with presidents. We got audio of Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan calling black people monkeys. And you talking about Trump? This is the stuff that they feed you with, man. He's just in a long line of other racist presidents, man, that we lived through and endured. But this Indian guy was blowing the whistle on what he was able to do using things that were set up for black Americans, right? But check this out. It wasn't done.
Fascinating revelations in the New York Times that when he applied to Columbia University, and this has all come out because Columbia University's records have been hacked, he applied as partially African American. Well, he's of South Asian Indian parentage, but he was born in Uganda. But doesn't that kind of make him about as much of an African American as Elon Musk, who was born in South Africa?
Now, see, Mamdani tried to do that same trick and it didn't work. But that Indian man, he also tried the trick and it worked. And it worked for so many of them. A lot of them are at HBCUs, they're at Ivy League colleges. And when you see the incident that had those situations that were staged up in Boston, now it all makes sense. And everybody's using us, whether good or bad, to springboard themselves up to the American dream. And the Democrats is allowing this to happen. You're never going to see a chart. You'll never see Roland Martin pull out a chart and see how many immigrants use African American to actually advance themselves forward. They're not going to reveal that. And this is the disheartening part. I'm telling y'all, y'all got to listen to me. Listen to me. Family, listen to Uncle George. Stop saying that every time somebody black is doing something wrong that they tethers. Some of the biggest deceptors of our people of our people are our own people. They are allowing these tethers to flourish. Listen to me again. Let me sit up. Listen to what I'm telling you. Our biggest detractors are our own people allowing the tethers to flourish. They are providing the platform for these tethers to flourish over you. This black boule class has always been this way. It's nothing different. They are here to sell you out, right? They always been here to sell you out. And it's a sad thing, man. But this stuff is being revealed, and this is why they're mad that you don't want to be African American no more. You're going against their agenda. So they're going to disrespect you, shame you. They're going to do everything to keep you on that plantation, man. Anything and everything that they can do. But I'm telling you right now, it's inside your household, it's at your barbecues, it's your own family members. It's your own. The tethers are able to be tetherists because of foundational black. Let me say it again. The tethers are able to be tetherists because of the backing of foundational black Americans. Let me say it again, as Umar Johnson would say. The tethers are able to be tetherists because of foundational black Americans in the positions of power. That's fighting tooth and nail to make sure that they have a seat at the table and while you sit on the floor. And while they use your likeness, whether good or bad, whether committing crimes and saying you did something or saying that they African Americans just so they can get us a position. This is where we at now, man. And it's your people that sold you out, sold you down the river to allow this to happen. Tethers are tetherists because of foundational black Americans. And this is why we having this argument amongst our group. Remember, you got the grassroots foundational black Americans, and then you have the other class. I'm going to say it again. You have the grassroots foundational black Americans, and then the other FBAs. You have the grassroots foundational black Americans, and then the other FBAs. And that's the problem. So if you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.